I got up around 10:30 in the morning, and then around 1 in the afternoon, Mom made some steak and eggs for me. For the steak, this time around, she cooked it more rare, since she figured that way it would have more flavor. And based on what I recall, that seemed to be the case. It looked a little red to me, but it tasted great. Throughout the day, I've been working on primarily getting the modified audio of me singing the chorus of Daisy Bell 3 times, modified mostly by being made deeper pitched, using my BlueStacks voice changer app, and minding that I installed it. From the BlueStacks Google Play Store. What I'm primarily doing is trying to get the audio to line up with the instrumental of Daisy Bell. And at this point, I've heard it enough times that it's become a bit of an earworm, and I've been able to correlate different parts of the instrumental to the various lyrics. Different parts of the chorus. And I have the chorus memorized in my head. These efforts to get my modified singing audio to line up with the instrumentals of Daisy Bell have involved making change tempo edits in Audacity in order to keep the low pitch the same, while keeping my singing from being too slow for the instrumentals. For the first 2 times I sang the chorus, I sped it up by 2.5%, and then ended up having to speed it up by 5%, which is what I wanted to do originally for the whole thing. But then it turned out to be too fast. 5% for the last time I sung the chorus. Then as I was doing that, I split up the audio file within Vion Studio so I had to listen carefully to find the point in which one time I sang the chorus ended, because there was practically no gap between me ending singing the chorus and me starting to sing it again, because of how that karaoke version worked. So I basically had to create the gaps myself to keep it in sync with in order to keep my modified singing meant to be somebody else in sync with the instrumentals. I think at this point I'm most of the way done with that process. There were points in which I thought about going back to using a text-to-speech voice, but text-to-speech voices, even the best ones, aren't really meant for singing, or if it is something meant for singing, it comes with a music track. And AI can't yet perfectly isolate vocals from instrumentals. It can do a surprisingly good job, but not quite just yet. Dad called me several times today because today after work, which ended for him at 4:30 p.m. because he didn't have a pivot today, delivering mail, so around 5 p.m. he picked me up so I could go with him to the apartment unit he's about to finish moving out of in order to help him move that old couch out and into the dumpster. He broke the leg stubs off with a sledgehammer. Well, no, it wasn't a sledgehammer. It was just a normal hammer that you would use to drive nails in. I had the dolly in the back, while Dad went in front with the roller. But we weren't able to fit. Actually, we technically were able to fit the couch through the door to our apartment unit and into the apartment hallway. After Dad knocked the leg stubs off with a hammer, but we couldn't get it down the stairs. Since there were things in the way, in particular a rectangle-shaped light in the middle of the hallway before we met the stairs, although it was a pretty short hallway. Smaller than our apartment unit, in fact. But I call it a hallway since it's connected to all of the apartment units on the top floor in a way. Dad used a cloth cutting knife, which looked pretty sharp, in order to cut the couch open from the back. And then he used that same hammer he used to break off the leg stubs to whack at the wooden supports. It made so much noise that at points I thought that someone would call the police on us because we made a bunch of noise. But that didn't happen because at that time, from our knowledge, there weren't many people in that whole apartment building at the time. Yeah, for the most part, today was an overcast day. Cool too, which is the kind of weather to be expected for fall here. Which, from my experience, tends to be the worst that a winter in Europe gets. Just a cool day. To the point where it's just a bit uncomfortable to wear shorts. But you could still get away with it fine. Though on this day, I wore pants and this thin fabric t-shirt. After that first round of breaking wooden supports, the couch would have gotten stuck on that support for the stairs that you hang on to so you don't fall down them. So we had to bring it back in again. And by this point, I was sweating lightly while Dad was sweating profusely. Dad took the hammer and cloth cutting knife again, and this time smashed at the wooden supports until the couch was in pieces. These wooden supports were held together by, I think, nails and super glue. Since they took many blows with that hammer before they broke apart, I ended up helping Dad carry the pieces, about 4 or so, of that couch. We made a total of 2 trips. The first one I took 1 piece. Then for the second one I took both of the 2 remaining pieces. Well, Dad got something else. I then helped carry pretty much the rest of the stuff from the apartment unit out of there. The stuff Dad wanted to keep was put in his car, presumably so he could transport it to the new house, which he stayed at for the first time. At least the first time I recall, he might have done that a time earlier within the last week, but that's just based on what I recall. What I recall, that was the first time. The stuff Dad wanted to throw away, we put into the 2 dumpsters that are within a walk that takes less than a minute from our apartment building. It is within the whole apartment complex. As of now, I've got no more ancient wonders, no more new ancient wonders to build. We worked roughly from 5 to 7 p.m. And then, when I got back to Mom's place, she made a steak for me, and I got myself a glass of milk to go with it at around 8:30 p.m. This one I think was cooked a little more. It was seasoned, and I enjoyed it. It was pretty good. While Dad was breaking apart the couch, there were points in which I asked if he needed help and if he brought a second hammer, but he didn't, because I wanted to join in. And help my dad. There were points in which I kind of just stood around. But he didn't want me to join in smashing apart the couch due to concerns that I could hurt myself while hitting the wooden supports of the couch with the hammer. The gist of what I did was hold the man crate's crowbar Dad used at various points to get some extra leverage, help him carry stuff out of the apartment unit into either his car or the dumpsters, and towards the very end, I helped pick off splintered bits of wood. When Mom made steak around 8:30 p.m., she made green beans, or really heated up green beans to go with the steak, but I decided that I didn't want them, because by that point the green beans were 6 days past either their use by date or sell by date. And I figured that maybe Mom could eat them instead. Although she did say they didn't taste weird to her.